Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this paper crafting card making tutorial. I hope today finds you well. I have a cute Christmas card to share with you today and this is it. It uses a set from the online exclusives which is called Filled with Cheer, and you can see here I've used a mixture of pattern paper and this lovely image, and then I've heat embossed the sentiment. So let's get on with the tutorial. Let's start with some stamping. So this is the stamp set called Filled with Cheer, and we're using this very happy snowman, even though he seems to be melting at the same time, or maybe he's fallen off his toboggan, I'm not sure, but he seems to be a happy chappy, so we're going to stamp him. Now I've got everything set up in my stamping tool, and we're going to be using the Memento Tuxedo Black, because I'm going to be colouring in with Stampin' Blend alcohol markers. So I'm just going to ink up our stamp really well, then whoops, get my paper in place and give that a really good press down so we get a nice image. Lovely jubbly, brilliant. Okay, so as you know, I'm a great believer in cleaning up as you go along, so I'm just going to use my simple chamois here just to quickly clean my stamp up. I absolutely love this thing. It has been used and used and used more times than I care to remember, and then you can just wash it in the sink or wash it in the washing machine. So really useful tool. Okay, so let's put all of that stuff away, and then we're going to get on and start our colouring. Let's see, just got ink on my fingers as always. Okay, so yes, as I said, we're going to colour using the Stampin' Blend alcohol markers, and you can see here I'm showing the colours I'm going to use, but they're all listed and linked in the description box below, and you also find them all on my blog post, and the link to that is also in the description box. So you can see here we're going to use a mixture of reds and blues, yellows, oranges, and some browns and greys. So some very sort of happy colours, I think. So let's get on and start colouring. So I fast forwarded this area so it's not going to be so slow. And here I'm just colouring in my tree, and I'm just using my lighter colour here, and this is Shaded Spruce. So this is going to be our biggest image, and I'm just going to colour it all in. I'm trying to miss out the baubles, but I'm colouring all the rest in just in the light colour, just giving a base colour, and then I'm going to go in with my darker colour this time and just add some highlights where I think there'd be shadows, or I'm outlining certain areas just to draw the eye. And now I'm going to go in with my light real red, and I'm going to have all red baubles. I'm trying to limit the colour palette to a certain extent so it doesn't look like a dog's dinner. And then I'm using my yellow for my lovely star at the top. There we go. Now I'm going to colour in my snow, and to do that I'm using my lightest soft seafoam, and then I'm just going to blend that out using the colourless blender. Okay, and then I'm just doing his nose in pumpkin pie, even though it's a carrot nose. So let's do his hat, and we're going to have a black top hat here. So I'm just doing that, and then I'm adding a little bit of highlight with the darker colour. I think here most of the time I've started off with light and gone in with the dark afterward. It just depends what I'm colouring in and the mood I'm even in. Sometimes I start off with the dark colour, sometimes I start off with the light colour. I can't explain to you that there's a reason why. Okay, so here we're going with the light colour, and this is what do you call this colour? Crumb cake. It's one of my favourite colours, is crumb cake. It's a very nice craft colour. And I'm just colouring on my sled here, and then I'm going to use my smoky slate here for my smoky slate for my runners. And you can see here I just showed you the dies, and I cut that out using the Countryside Corners dies. And there you can see our image all coloured in and cut out using those set dies. Now I have a piece here of Designer Series paper, and this is the Iconic Celebration, and this measures 14.35 centimeters by 10, and we're going to stamp our sentiment Merry Christmas, and we're actually going to stamp it in clear Versamark ink, and then we're going to white heat emboss this. So here we go. I'm going to just stamp it in this lovely Versamark ink, and I've just lined up my sentiment on my block. I'm using my grid paper to try and keep everything lined up and as straight as possible. Down, hold it, up, And then I've got my white embossing powder here, and I'm just going to work over a coffee filter in hope that I can try and contain some of the mess. I'm not very good at this, but containing the mess, that is. But there we go, there's our lovely Merry Christmas. Now if you do have a little bit of embossing powder where you don't want it, you can use a very fine, I was about to say paintbrush I mean, to remove that powder before you heat set it. You can't remove it after it's heat set because it'll be stuck firmly to your pattern paper. Okay, so let's just clear that up a bit, and now we're just going to quickly heat set this with our heat gun. So I let this heat up for about 30 seconds and then I took it to my paper, and there you go, that's the result. Isn't it magic? It gives you a lovely white vibrant sentiment on the blue. It really pops and stands out. So now we're going to stick this to our card base, and our card base is thick basic white. So this is a standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. Okay, and let's just put this down. And I do love white and blue, they do look good together. Okay, there we go. Now I've got here a strip again of the Iconic Celebrations paper, and this strip measures about 5 centimeters by 14.35 centimeters. Haven't been totally exact, I think I've just used a scrap. This is a great way again of using up your scraps, just using it as a band across the center of my card. Okay, and there we go, lovely. And that just brings a pop of colour, and it's also going to bring some of that red from our card into another part of the card. Then I've used just some of our adhesive foam sheet on the back of our focal image. I've just taken the backing off and I'm just going to stick that down like that. There we go. So now for our finishing touches. Excuse me. I'm going to be using some of these in colour opaque sparkle dots, and I'm going to just scatter a few here and there all over the card. So if you've enjoyed this project, this is a good time to say please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It is most appreciated. And if you want more information about this card, the supply list, the measurements, etc., please don't hesitate to click on the links below, and it should take you to, you've got my social media links there, as well as the link to my blog and my Facebook groups where I host fortnightly challenges. So do come and join us and join in some challenges. They're a lot of fun. Okay, so there is our card that we've just created, and there's the one we did before. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.